This Road to Prosperity video is sponsored by Vandergraaf. Visit vandergraaf.com to learn more about how their advanced drum motor technology reduces maintenance costs while delivering reliability and longevity for belt conveyors operating in the harshest of environments.
Hey there, Kevin Yanik with Pitt and Quarry. Wanted to touch on mine safety and what we're seeing there as we're about halfway through 2023. We're regularly keeping tabs on mining accidents, mining fatalities, as put out there by the Mine Safety and Health Administration. And the latest numbers here in the first week of June show that the industry is already up to 21 fatalities on the year. We saw quite a bit of mining fatalities in the first quarter this year. Those numbers are up significantly in January. And while we got the pace of those down a bit as we got into the calendar year here in 23, we're still seeing too many mining accidents happen. And we're already up to 21 here, as I mentioned, in the first week of June. And we're on a pace here, it seems, to surpass our recent high. That would have been 46 back in 2014. So we're talking a pace of not necessarily seen in 10 years or so here for the mining industry. Mine operators obviously take a lot of pride in safety. The majority of the producers in our industry, it's value number one for them and their businesses, and they talk safety day in and day out at their businesses. But they're, for whatever reason, maybe many reasons, we're seeing those numbers tick upward. I recently visited with Christopher Williamson, Assistant Secretary at MSHA. We were talking about the trend there with mining fatalities and where that's been. And the agencies identified a couple of areas in particular, one being powered haulage, another being machinery, that they classify those fatalities by. Those represent, I think, 6 for powered haulage, it's 5 or 6, and it's about 6 or 7 for machinery. And so you figure between those two categories, that's more than half of all mining fatalities. And when you kind of step back a little further, as I asked the Assistant Secretary at MSHA what it is that they're seeing, and it's a couple of factors that are kind of shining outward. As again, it's MSHA that's putting out those numbers. It's lack of experience of the employees that's kind of a factor in these accidents, and Christopher Williamson points to lack of training, potentially lack of workplace examinations, other examinations of equipment, and other areas of operations that need to put more emphasis on. So we're hopeful that the industry can get these numbers in check, because again, these are fatality numbers that we have not seen for a number of years. The mining industry, relative to other industries out there, in terms of that sort of data, is one of the safer industries out there. I think if you pour over other industry accident statistics, you're going to find that mining sets an example in some ways. Yet I would argue that our industry puts so much value on its people. It wants to see everybody return home each day the way they arrive to the work site that morning or that day, and we want to get these numbers in check. So we'll have a little bit more detail on mining fatalities in our upcoming marker reference guide. Again, it's the first week of June. We're working on our July coverage, and you'll be able to pour through that marker reference guide in your mailbox here in the coming weeks as we mail our July edition along with that. So keep tabs on pittandquarry.com for all the latest on mine safety in the aggregate industry.
Thank you to Vandergraaf for sponsoring this Road to Prosperity video. To learn more about how their advanced drum motor technology reduces maintenance costs while delivering reliability and longevity for belt conveyors operating in the harshest of environments, visit vandergraaf.com.